In this video, we'll be talking about the 3 most impactful changes coming in the next ban list. Stay tuned to find out more. Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, I create content for the Yu-Gi-Oh! TCG and Master Duel. And if you see my previous ban list video discussion, you're probably thinking, okay, why is Shahid making a video? Well, despite sometimes not needing a ban list because the meta will fix itself, I do think cards should be addressed, and I've broken them down into 3 categories. The first category is cards that are, promoting an unhealthy or toxic environment for the game and the gameplay, and cards that should be addressed. Maybe they've been overutilized too much. Cards like Hulk come to mind. The second category are cards that can come off the list to spice up some decks and actually give a lot of variety back to the game. Cards like Miscellaneous come to mind. And the third category will be the cards that we can expect to boost current decks right now and make them tier 1, tier 0. I'm looking at Tearlaments, for example. I think that'll be a really interesting discussion. And yeah, let's get to it. Okay, so cards that promote a unhealthy / toxic environment. I don't think we can start this discussion without talking about the biggest 2 factors, which are Artifact Scythe and Mystic Mine. I think these cards should be banned. I think they've had their time to play in the last format, the previous format before that, and this format. We don't see a lot of Scythe, but we see a lot of Mystic Mine, and it started to create a very degenerate and almost backwards kind of gameplay. And I don't think it's healthy for the game. It's making the time element of tournament rules really awkward as well. People are starting to side in life point gaining and life point, reduction strategies. And I think overall it's just a sign that Mystic Mine needs to go and Artifact Scythe, it's time to go. Other cards that come to mind: Dimension Shifter, Harpy's Featherstorm. Now, I'm not biased when I say this, although I have been Featherstormed quite a few times. I just don't think it's fair that one card with such an easy requirement can have such a lasting, lingering effect that actually just makes the opponent pass their whole turn. I don't think a card should be that easy with so much of a high reward. Therefore, that's why I think Featherstorm should be banned. The Shifter helps the control decks battle against the combo decks. But the issue is, because every deck is so fast-paced and modern, you realize that these combo decks aren't slow anymore. They're all fast and they can OTK you. So D-Shifter turns into another blowout card that if you resolve it, you win the game. But I'm thinking D-Shifter should be limited. And 2 other cards I wanted to shout out for this category is Curious, the Lightsworn Link monster. People are starting to figure out a way where they can dump any spell or trap card, and then with Nightmare Griffin, set that card. So then you basically, if you're going first, you automatically can search any spell trap card in your deck and have it live for the opponent's turn. Now, it's cool that players have figured out a way to beat Mystic Mine by playing the Curious Griffin Epidemic Virus strategy. And I think with that card out of the game, I think one, Tearlaments will get nerfed, and I don't think it will hurt any other decks. So that's why I think Curious should go, but let's be honest, I think it should be banned. And moving on to Crystron Halqifibrax. Now, my personal gameplay and deck building, my Scarecrow deck actually uses Crystron Halqifibrax to do full combo and end on 1 Tri-Heart from 1 Scarecrow. Now, even though I think Hulk is really important for that combo, I think it should be banned. The reason why is because Hulk has created these really, I don't want to say degenerate, but really easy combos. And because it brings out any tuner from the deck, it's actually made so many other cards in the card pool banned or hit on the ban list. So with Hulk being gone, it's going to bring some new fresh cards hopefully back from the ban list. And also with Hulk being gone, it means not everyone can just do a very easy access code climb, and people are going to have to start getting a little bit more creative with Hulk gone. So this is a really fun category because we're talking about cards that should come off the ban list to boost other cards or decks in the meta. Cards that come to mind are the Orcus Harp Horror. The Tearlaments deck is so powerful, and I feel like if Orcus get too much playability or combo ability, if that's even a word, I think Tearlaments are going to find a way to abuse that, and I'm not looking forward to that. Some other cards: Miscellaneous. Dinos aren't really doing anything anymore, and it's possible they're having power creep, and they can be quite bricky. So having Miscellaneous at 3, I think, is not bad. For Dynamorphic players as well, they might enjoy it too. For the Pendulum support that's coming in Darkwing Blast, personally, I'm going to be playing Draco Slayer, so this is a really fun topic for me. But Electromite, Magic Spectre Kirin, and Draco Face Off, these are cards that should maybe come off the ban list, revive the Pendulum strategy, because it's kind of withered away over time. A lot of power creep has happened, thinking of Tearlaments, and now I think it's time for cards like Electromite, Draco Face Off, maybe not all of them, to come off the ban list and just give a bit more energy to the Draco Slayer strategy. We can't talk about a ban list without addressing Sprite and Tearlaments, but in this video, I'm only going to talk about Tearlaments because I think with the issues and stuff coming in November, which is not far away, we're going to get some really crazy tier 0, I don't want to say guaranteed, but close to tier 0 potential. to be able to basically play your whole turn on your opponent's turn, thanks to Herald of the Orange Light. It makes you think, what cards should we or can we preemptively hit so that Tearlament is not just running down every locals in the world and just being a pain for people to deal with. Now, I get it, side deck cards makes the Tearlament strategy not as powerful, but again, the fact they can play on your turn, even if you're going first, just makes it a bit ridiculous. And I think Herald of the Orange Light going to 1 would be a really welcome and a really positive change to preemptively hit the Ishizu Tearlament stuff. And Konami in the past have done these preemptive changes before, so I don't see why they can't do it now. Some other things to note: the Tearlament field spell is really powerful, it's really pricey. I want to say they might semi-limit it just to maybe affect that market a little bit and also just wear down a bit of the potential for Tearlament. So maybe the field spell will get semi-limited. And with the news of the new Tearlament field spell Photon Hypernova, it makes you think why they need 2. So that's really interesting as well. Okay, and the last few things I want to talk about with Tearlament, there is a lot of stuff to talk about, is Shadow Winder. Personally, I think this card is super degenerate, incredibly easy to summon. And in the Tearlament strategy, when you keep milling, you're going to get your Shadow Beast or Shadow Dragon in the grave and fusion summon Winder. And the fact it will just lock you upon Aspera summoning means they can't play. It's close or really close to the toxicity of Artifact Scythe, and that's why I think personally it should go. While the card is incredibly powerful, it's not once per turn. You obviously can't respond to it. Having it at 3 is a deck check for the most powerful cards in the meta. At the same time, I think limiting it or semi-limiting it is a healthy change and a healthy step towards changing the game just a little bit, because when we did get that card back in the game, you could kind of telegraph what they wanted to do with it. So maybe slowly bring it back to limited or semi-limited might be the way to go. And then lastly, this card, I cannot wait for it to be banned again. I just think it's ridiculous that Fairytale Snow has come back off the ban list. It's not once per turn effect. Makes for some almost unfair gameplay that is hard to counteract. And I think it's time for Snow to actually go. Okay guys, so that was the video talking about the ban list and what changes we can expect to happen. If you liked the video, of course, as always, make sure to drop a like. Helps the channel get noticed, helps people find out more about the channel. And what cards in the ban list, I think I've already spoke about it, but what cards in the ban list are you hoping to get banned? Maybe limited, semi-limited, let me know. There's a lot of Pendulum stuff that could now come off the list. That being said, guys, I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.